But the 90s were then, and this is where we are now. And we have a choice to make in November, and it isn't a choice that I was crazy about. I actually was very public that I thought that President Biden should not run for re-election, but he did, and it's him and Trump, and that's where I am. And
if anything, if President Biden decides not to run or is ill and can't run, where does the Democratic Party go?
There's so much talent, and a lot of it is young and vigorous and energetic. I think Hakeem Jeffries is doing a great job, by the way, is leader, much more to the far. But I thought that President Biden should consider not running for the election, but that's not the choice that he made. And so I gotta live in the world that I've got to live in, not the world I wanted to live in.
This is not the world I wanted to live in. A depressed Democrat strategist, James Carville, openly admits that Biden should not have run for re-election. Duh. His campaign is a disaster, and Carville appears to be one of the rats beginning to flee the ship. We're going to see precisely why Carville is so depressed and why more and more Democrats are openly suggesting that Biden end this disaster of a campaign and drop out of the race. And then...
Hi, I'm Katie Hobbs, Secretary of State and candidate for governor.
And don't forget to mention easily bribed. We're going to take a look at the latest on the investigation into Katie Hobbs' alleged pay-to-play scheme with her donors and what it means for the key swing state of Arizona. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. As you heard, veteran Democrat strategist James Carville is but the latest to voice his concern that Biden, in retrospect, should never have actually run for re-election in the first place. Talking on the WABC radio program, The Cats Roundtable, Carville's admission, as it turns out, is yet his latest disparaging remark on the fledgling nature of Biden's campaign. You may remember it was just a couple of weeks ago that he said this.
So frustrated, and I do think the president has to deal. The age issue is suffocating him. And he needs to bring up that he's only 4 years older than Trump, and Trump had his goons steal his medical records out of his internist office in January 2017. So I've released all my medical records. Why don't you release the records that you had Keith Schiller steal from your internist? I mean, he's got to turn that around and need to quit arguing and complaining about the Times covering his age and the polling is so good. That's a waste of time. Don't do that.
Biden is being suffocated, politically suffocated by his age. Again, notice the pattern here. Biden shouldn't be running. Biden should not be seeking re-election because everyone sees and hears the same thing.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
I'm sorry, what was that?
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
That's right, gang. We've now got 7 years ago. We've got ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Now we've got she no longer, she knew our freedom can never be secured. If this isn't an indictment on how pathetically degenerate our permanent political class has become, I don't know what is. But we have to understand the reason why people like James Carville are openly freaking out here is because the lawfare, the weaponized legalism that was supposed to provide that Joe Biden the cover he needed, given the guy simply can't function. I mean, this is so key. The panic is setting in. It's an open recognition that the Democrats' strategy for 2024 wasn't to beat Donald Trump. They knew they couldn't do that because they have nothing to beat him with, obviously. The strategy wasn't to beat Donald Trump. The strategy was to take Trump out. In other words, if Biden can't campaign, if he's a vegetable, right? If Biden can't function, and if they can't stuff the ballot boxes like they did in 2020, then they have to make sure Trump can't campaign. They have to take him out of the race. The problem is that effort is not working. Look at the latest from Decision Desk. Trump is maintaining more than a 2-point national lead over Biden. This after more than a week out from that venomous verdict handed down in Manhattan. And take a look at this. It's official. Trump and Biden are tied in Virginia. We're getting poll after poll showing this. Trump and Biden are tied in the state. Then Biden won by double digits in 2020, by 10 points. It's a very ominous sign for the Biden campaign. And make no mistake, this was not supposed to happen. All the polls over the last several months, showed that were Trump convicted, his campaign would implode. LA Times ran a piece that predicted that Trump would lose 20% of his support were he convicted. This is what they were banking on, gang. This was the whole point of the weaponized legalism, and it did not happen. Trump was found guilty on 34 counts. We don't even know what the crime was, but nevertheless, he's found guilty, and his poll numbers have not budged. So now even Nate Silver, 538, the darling pollster of the Democrats, is coming out suggesting, Biden should probably drop out of this. I mean, it's devastating. Silver, the Wonder Kid pollster, Nate Silver, is coming out and bluntly saying that Biden is losing. There's no way around that. He is losing. And he has no plan to reverse his electoral misfortunes. And so it wouldn't be a bad idea for Democrats to cut bait. It's time for Biden to go. Unbelievable stuff. And again, we predicted this. That's what's so freaking hilarious about how loony our permanent political classes. We knew, given Trump's base, that there was no way he was going to lose support over his conviction precisely because his base no longer trusts our judicial system. Why would you abandon someone who just got convicted by a New York judicial system that you believe is incurably corrupt to the core? Oh, and speaking of corruption, wait until you see what Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs is now officially under investigation for. Gang, this is going to make your day. But first of all, I am very passionate about the fact that we can't rescue our nation if we don't first take care of ourselves. And health actually starts with our livers. If you think about it, we throw everything at our livers: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, Tylenol, statins, cigarettes, you name it. That's why so many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver that makes us gain weight and lose energy. But thanks to today's sponsor, there really is a very real solution. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural supplement which contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver at the cellular level. It's manufactured right here in the United States and approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below right now, you could try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive, gang. I myself recently lost 60 pounds and could say it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So now it's your turn. Let's do this. Click on that link below or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley.
Arizona's Attorney General investigating ties between Governor Katie Hobbs and the operator of a group home for foster kids. It comes after reports that Sunshine Residential Homes Incorporated made six-figure donations to the governor's inauguration fund.
And to the Arizona Democratic Party just before getting a large rate hike from the state. This story was first reported in detail by the Arizona Republic.
Oh, Katie, what can we say? You put yourself into office through false pretenses. Eventually, that corruption inevitably catches up with you. And that is exactly what appears to be happening here in Arizona. Hobbs is currently embroiled in a pay-to-play scandal investigation. It all centers on an organization called Sunshine Residential Homes. That organization made six-figure donations to Hobbs' inauguration fund and the Arizona Democratic Party. Just before, coincidentally, the organization got a very generous rate hike from the state. So Sunshine Residential Homes runs group homes for foster kids. Okay, it's one of dozens of homes that do just that in Arizona. But it happens to be the only one that got this massive rate hike from the state. The others were all turned down. And it's so interesting because we've got records of Sunshine residential homes being turned down for a rate hike back in December 2022, just a month after Katie Hobbs, the then Secretary of State, oversaw her own election to the governor's mansion. They were turned down in December. And then 3 days later, they contributed six figures to her inaugural campaign. And lo and behold, they were suddenly approved for the rate hike. Is that neat how it works? So it appears that the organization paid Hobbs and the Democrats hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they got millions back in return. So needless to say, Katie Hobbs is now under investigation for a pay-to-play scheme in a state that is still rather dominated by Republicans. So what does that mean for November? Well, if Hobbs is politically damaged by this, which she almost certainly will be, remember, she's not a particularly popular governor. She barely squeaked by in the 2022 election, and again, under rather suspicious circumstances. If she's damaged by this, it will have the opposite effect of what we're seeing in Virginia. The Republican governor there, Glenn Youngkin, is very popular. And so that's obviously boosting Trump's chances in this otherwise blue state. By contrast, with Katie Hobbs politically damaged, that will just boost the prospects for the opposing party, which is good news for Trump and Kari Lake. So I think at this point, we're pretty safe in putting Arizona in Trump's electoral column. And perhaps we'll ironically have Katie Hobbs to thank for that. Here's your opportunity to tell big tech tyrants where they can stick it. Click on that link below and download our brand new cancel-proof Turley Talks app, and you can sign our special declaration of restoration. That's our petition to big tech that declares a new day is dawned. They are no longer in control, and we are taking our nation back. We've already got over 1,000 signatures of courageous patriots, and yours is next. Click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com right now.